Okay, I'm on the way to the gas station right now. I'm going to be winterizing my boat today. I just put 5 or 6 ounces of stable in the gas tank, which should be enough for a 25, 26 gallon tank that is in there. So I'm going to fill it up and we're going to take it back. We're going to run it, try and get some stable into the carburetor. Then we're going to fog the motor, pull the plugs, and then flush some coolant into the engine, and I'll show you that process as we get there. Okay, I have it running. I'm just warming it up, and then we're going to spray some of this fogging oil into the carburetor, and that should kill the motor after it warms up. Okay, kill key. Next, what you want to do, pull out the spark plugs and then spray a nice little spray of fogging oil to each cylinder. Okay, pop the spark plug out, take some of this and spray it into each cylinder for 3 seconds. We put the spark plugs back in, put the wires back where they go. I recommend doing one at a time so you don't forget where you left off. And then after we do that, we're going to move over to the other side and we're going to pull the plugs in the motor. So we'll be right back. Once you have all the spark plugs reinstalled and your wires, what you're going to do is remove these 3 hose ends. Not the whole hoses. You can see this upper hose goes to here. This one goes to there. Take a flathead or 8 mil, come right off. And this one too. So you can see the steam coming out of there, that goes into the exhaust, and the water's in there too. So I'm going to get a funnel, and we're going to run some coolant in there. And I'll show you which coolant that we're using. This is cheap stuff from Walmart, it's like $2.50 a gallon. They make stuff that's a little bit better because negative 75, but where I'm located in Pennsylvania, negative 50 be just fine. So we're just going to grab a funnel and then we'll start pouring through there. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to pour into that big hose until it comes out of that main port. And it should flush all the water out. That is 1 entire gallon. So we'll get the next gallon going here. Okay, there we go. And you can see it's a little white colored. Which is the water, and this is gonna flush the water out. Okay, so I went and got more antifreeze, so I poured another half gallon into this big hose, and then the other half gallon I poured into this hose. So now I can see it coming out through the exhaust through the out drive. So we're going to pour another gallon in there, and then we're going to pour some of it into this hose too, and then we're going to open up the block drain plugs on the motor, and then we should be done here. Okay, hoses back on, they're tight, and then we have the air cleaner back on, and next we're going to jack up the trailer. The plug is out. We're going to try and get all the coolant and water out of the hull or the bilge, and try and get it dry down there. And then you can see the water and coolant coming out of the exhaust on the outdrive. So now we're going to open up the plugs on this OMC 3 liter. Okay, so the plugs, there are one here and one here on the manifold down more of a wing nut. I'm trying to remember if there was another one. If there is, I'll let you know. Okay, so you can see it's dribbling out from both of them. Those are the only two plugs. I thought there was one more, but those are the only two plugs on this OMC 3 liter. So you can see it's all red coming out. So we flushed about a gallon to here, and then a gallon to the manifold, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, about a gallon and a half on each one, and then yeah, maybe a little bit less, but definitely 2.5 in the main one, and then I split the other 2.5 gallons between these two. And then now I pulled the ports. This one goes on the intake, this one goes in this little contraption here, I forget what it's called. I'll throw those in the glove box for next year, and that should be it for right now. Okay, turn fuel off on the motor and jack the trailer up. See if that's coming out of the plug. So now I'm going to work on covering it, but I'm not going to cover it super good yet because I'm taking it, this isn't where it's going to be sitting for the winter. I'm going to take it over to my garage, and that's where I'm going to wrap it real tight. I have a couple tarps and I have the original cover for it too, so we're going to do that. Also, what you could do to winterize the unit is there's a plug. Maybe it's on the other side. Basically what you want to do is drain the oil out of the outdrive and then refill it. But there's supposed to be a plug down right at the back of the outdrive. Whatever you do, do not drain or take the screw out. You can't get it back in. There's a flat plate on the inside, and this is a water drain. So this will screw will come out, and then the flat plate that has the threads in it will fall out, go either this way, or inside the tube. So what I had to do was take the water pump off. This brings it to the water pump on the motor, to the thermostat housing. And I found out why it overheated on the last time out, and I had to get basically towed back in. There's nothing left to it, so I'll be getting a new one of these. It comes with this gasket and this whole system in here. These are pieces I fished out along with those. So I'm gonna put the water pump back together so I don't lose nothing. And then what I'm gonna end up doing is finding the real drain for the gear oil, which is here in there. But I might also use my suction hose and just suck it all out through the top and just fill it with gear oil at the top, and just get away with that for now. But so you want to just get the water out of here or change your fluid. You drop the plug, and if water comes out, you leave the outdrive down for a couple days, and the oil and water will separate, and the water should be at the bottom. So you should be able to drain most of the water out. And if it's milky, or if there's a lot of water in there, then I would change it. If not, then it would be fine. But absolutely do not remove the screw, because you will most likely have to take your outdrive off, which consists of these two bolts here, and then there's 6 of these total, and then you're gonna have to disconnect a bunch of stuff, and you're gonna have to take that screw out of there. Absolutely do not touch that unless you're really good at weaseling into places. I have these hangers and wires and screwdrivers, and I tried pressing up in there. It was a huge pain in the ass, so don't touch that. So I'm going to order a water pump and change that, and then I'm going to change my gear oil, and that should be it. That's all you have to do to winterize your boat. What you're going to want to do is also store this out drive in a down position too, so it doesn't crack any of the boots or anything inside there. So that, and then I'm just going to cover it, and that'll be it for how to winterize your boat in OMC 3 liter.